Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela and Minnie apparently, and I'm going to do with you today a, let's say, cover up dress, cover up beach dress. I will be naming it Adela, like Adele, but it's Adela. Sorry, my fabric got dirty because my cat was sitting on it. So I'm going to start presenting you the pieces. I've got here the front piece, and it has the part for where the triangle, half triangle will go. Well, one of the triangles for one breast will go. Then it will have like a little like cutout, and then here I will be connecting this piece with the back part, and this is my back part, as it has like quite a beautiful cutout as well, and I will be connecting it here with the front piece. And then I've got here the triangle bar parts, so I've cut them already, and I will be pinning and placing right side together. Yeah, like I said, I have quite a lot of this fabric, so I like it a lot to use it for my projects right now. So what I will actually do, we will start with the dress piece first. I will put aside my triangles. I've got also my straps here prepared. Got everything. My elastic, I will be giving the instructions for my elastic in the pattern. But first, what I'm going to do, I want to unify the front piece with the back piece, and for this you don't need the cover stitch machine. You can use just your normal sew machine and your serger. If you don't have a serger, you can just use your normal sew machine using a zigzag stitch for almost everything, to be honest. So what I'm going to do, you will have this little cuts like to one side. You see there's like a little V. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold this first in, and I'm going to do a top stitch over that. So I will be folding them like that, and pinning it on the pattern. I've left you about 1.5 centimeters around that. You have some room to play. So I'm doing this on the front piece and as well on the back piece. All right, I'm just going to pin with you just one side, and then afterwards I am going to my normal sew machine. I do have a cover stitch, but I just want to show you how it could be done just with a normal sew machine, all this project. All right, so I've got here everything pinned. I will be doing it off camera, the other part. So you see the little part that has this kind of a V, you're folding it inside, and you're going to do a top stitch over. Sorry, this the top stitch, for this top stitch, you actually do not need actually stretch, so you can actually just use a straight stitch. If you don't have a twin needle, you can always use a twin needle, or otherwise you can just also use a zigzag stitch. But a zigzag stitch, it's mainly used if you need elasticity. So in this case, if I don't need to have any stretch, this top stitch, and I will just do a straight stitch over, right? So I'll just place my sew machine. I'm using two colors, so it's easier to see. And as you can see, I'm sewing quite close to the edge here. And the fabric I've used, actually, it's a stretch fabric, it's a lycra fabric, but these can also be done with a non-stretch fabric or less stretch. Although I would be recommending you to do a bigger size, and of course do a test before. I know it's a lot of fabric, and I know you'll be like, oh, but why should I do a test before? I recommend a test in case you want to do with a non-stretch fabric, because this was designed to be done with a stretch fabric, right? So of course a non-stretch fabric has its limitations. Okay, so as you can see, I did this straight stitch, this top stitch, and I wanted you to see the stitch, right? So it's visual. And I will be doing off camera on the other side. This is my back side, so the same. I will be folding, pinning, doing it off camera. Then I'm going to show you how I'm going to connect the two parts together. Okay, so I've made my top stitch on both parts. This is my front piece. I'm sorry, my kitty, she's very, very much in love with all my work, so she's here supporting me. So yeah, this is my front piece, and this is facing the right side, facing me right now. And this is my back piece, and I will place the front over the other front looking of my back piece on top of the front piece. And what we are going to do right now, we are going to connect this tiny bit part. And for this part, indeed, I am going to use a zigzag stitch. I'm going to first pin it. I'm going to use a zigzag stitch. But actually, you can also use a straight stitch. It doesn't need to have a lot of elasticity. So I'm going ahead with a straight stitch. And whenever I'm doing a straight stitch with my normal sewing machine, I like to go twice over, just to make sure that I'm securing really well my stitch. So I'm just doing that right now. That's it. And once this little bit is, you can trim if you wish this little part. I don't need to trim it right now. But once this little bit is connected, next thing what we are going to do, keep it on the same right side facing together. And we are going to connect the long part, right? Which is actually seen as a parallel. Wait. I'm sorry, I tried to lay it on my table. My table is very tiny. So I've got here one side and the other side. So the long bit, you see that it's a little bit curved. This long bit, we are going to connect it right now. And you can do the same straight stitch, or you can serge it as well. I actually, I prefer to serge it for speed reasons. I do have a serger, so if you have a serger, I recommend you to serge it. when you're using lycra fabric or spandex, or these fabrics usually don't unravel. So if you do a straight stitch, you should not be worried about the edges, because they will not come loose. Only if it's a lycra fabric. In case it's not a lycra fabric and it's a knit fabric, then I actually recommend you to to take care that the edges are not unraveling. So I'm matching here all my corners. And I'm moving directly to my serger. So I'm just going, you do not need to add any elastic whatsoever. You can just actually go and serge it. In this case, like I know I recommend in a lot of videos that you can do a bust stitching. Especially for me in this case, these two fabrics together, they're not slippery. Actually, it's a very thick lycra, so it's not slippery, which allows me not to use a bust stitching. But if you feel like it's slippery and you cannot hold them together, then I recommend you to do the bust stitching first. Okay, so I did already the long stitch, and actually now I'm going ahead and I'm going to turn it on the right side. It's easier if I do it this way. So the dress is now turned on the right side, because it's just a little bit easier to show you the next step. And on what it would be the wrong side of the fabric, I will be placing this elastic. You can use a thinner elastic. This is something I had on hand. You can place this elastic, and as you're stitching, you have to stretch it a little bit. Of course, it is a little bit tricky because you're going kind of around. What you can do, you can stretch and pin, stretch and pin, stretch and pin. But I'm telling you, it's not actually a lot of stretching really needed to be done. You're stretching only a little bit, so you can just do this by hand. You don't have to be really, really specific. So I'm just going to show you how I'm doing it. It's just, I do this, so when I'm folding it in, when I'm doing the top stitching, I will not be getting waving fabric, and this way it will be a little bit snugger on the body, right? So you want to stretch a little bit, right? You don't want the fabric to crease too much. Okay, so you see my fabric is just a little bit creased. I did not stretch too much, it's only a little bit. I want it just that it's not waving, right? So next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold this bit in, right, like this, and I'm going to zigzag stitch. Hopefully I have enough thread. My zigzag stitch is on 3. And I'm slightly pulling the fabric when I top stitch it. And what is very important is that you feel that your edge is not like bulking underneath, I would say. Oh no! My down thread finished and I didn't realize. So I will be rethreading off camera, but yes, you've seen how I did the zigzag stitch. I'll be back in no time and I will be continuing with the next step. Okay, so I did off camera the rest of the zigzag stitching, and you can see it over here. So now actually the dress part is almost finished. What we will need to do, we will need to fold inside this edge like that and do a top stitch over the same. You can do a straight stitch or you can do a zigzag stitch. The same, it won't require stretching because this is really the end, so the lower part of the dress. I will be doing that off camera since it's just a small detail, right? And actually I'm going to place it like that so you can see it a little bit better. This is my front piece and this will be the triangle. So this is the only thing which we will still have left to do to connect the triangle together with the dress. So I've placed right side of the fabric on top of each other for the triangles, and now I want to do first a bust stitching exactly where I'm pinning, because indeed this fabric is very slippery for me now. So I will be just doing the sides. I will bust stitch first. Yes, I will take just one triangle since everything will be together for both triangles, but there will be, obviously one is different since it's attached to the dress. So I'll bust stitch first and then I will go ahead to my serger and I will be adding the elastic. So let me just get my sewing machine over here in place. If you've watched any of my videos, you know what a bust stitching means. It's actually just a straight stitch and it helps to keep the two layers of fabric in place. But a bust stitch is meant to be cut off, to be ripped apart. So I will be removing that. The bust stitching, I have it always on the highest stitch length, so it's easy. So I'll be doing one just to show you, and then I'll be doing all the rest off camera. Okay, So now I am going to make little cuts into it. The cuts, I make them about 3 centimeters apart, like that, because I don't want to actually remove this bust stitch, but making the cut into it, it already will allow me to have more stretch. And now I go to my serger, and given the fact that it made the bust stitch so much easier to attach the elastic. Of course, I do have an elastic foot or an elastic guide, I would say. More my elastic is an elastic guide. If you do not have one, you can always guide it with your hand. And you don't need to actually have the elastic all the way until the end. You can just skip it a little bit before. I do this just actually so it doesn't get like bulky or whatsoever. And now I will be doing off camera the other side and the other triangle completely. The bottom part, leave it unstitched. I will show you the next steps. Okay, so I've got here my both triangles, and I've got my straps as well prepared from before. I did make a video already on how to make the spaghetti straps. I will be linking this video, so of course I'm not spending any time showing every single time how to make spaghetti straps. I will just link the video, and that would be really helpful for you. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce first. I'm going to work to show you just one triangle. The other one I'll be doing it off camera. So I'll be introducing first the strap into the triangle. And what I actually do, I just do like a straight stitch, and I go across a few times to make sure that it's very secured, since it's something which obviously goes over a lot of tension. My sewing machine is a little fussy today, so I'll be turning it and go ahead on the other side. The sewing machine is like a little bit fussy when it comes to like small pieces to go back and forth. Of course, you can just do a straight stitch, and then just simply turn it on the other side and go ahead over and over. Okay, so I've got my strap here added. I've trimmed the excess fabric, and now I will actually turn the top on the right side of the fabric. And if you do have a serger, best is to go with the serger over this bottom part of your triangle. If you do not have, you can always use a straight stitch over, as is just to keep together the two fabrics together when we will be attaching it to the dress, right? So I'm doing it directly. I didn't really pin, since it's not a big piece of fabric. Okay, I will be of course doing exactly the same steps of adding the strap and sewing this bottom part with my serger or with your straight stitch on the other triangle. When I'll finish it, I'll be back to show you the next steps. Okay, so I have my two triangles already prepared. They have their straps on, and now we're going to proceed on attaching it to the one of them should be attached to the dress. And I'm having it. So yes, this is my front side of my triangle. This is the front side of the dress. So I just have it like that, right? And I will just be twisting it like that, or yes, twisting it, I would say. Sorry for my lack of words. So I place it right sides facing together of the dress and the triangle. And here it comes the tricky part, and I would like you to pay attention. There is a seam allowance of about 1.5 centimeters to be able to create the strap channel, right? So you will have to pin and later stitch about 1.5 centimeters away from the edge, right? And I'm placing it like this as well, about 1.5 centimeters. All right. And I actually like to go all along this edge like that, so I'm sure that it's the same length for both, right? And I'm holding it straight, kind of have to have a straight line, right? And here the same. I hope you can see very good what I'm doing, right? And now I will go ahead to my sew machine and I will be doing a straight stitch. And for this part, if your sew machine is tricky and does not go good, this is I think it's called hump jumper. And what you have to do, this helps with the thicker layers. So what you have to do, you're placing it under your foot, right? But making sure that it follows the same line as your needle, right? And then you place the fabric like that underneath, and you see I'm like having it quite a space, right? Perhaps I should like that. You can trace a line if you want, or I guide that it's a little bit more than my foot, right? So I'm doing a few stitch front and then back, and already the hump jumper did its work, right? And then I'll try to follow the same line, right? And it's important to go slow for this part because you don't want not to leave enough room for the channel, because here you're going to pass the channel, so your triangle can also be ruched. This other side, I mean. Perfect. Okay, so I've got the triangle attached, as you can see it. And now what we are going to do, actually, we are going to do a parallel stitch over, right? But like you'll be having all these layers towards the inside, right? So all this stitch, what you did, you're gonna fold it inside and you're going to do a parallel stitch. The same, if you're having troubles with the layers to be too thick, hump jumpers is a lifesaver. And in this moment, I'm slightly pulling the fabric a little bit like that towards me because I don't want anything to get bulky underneath, right? asked me where I bought this hem jumper. I think I bought it on Amazon. I think it's called like that. Perhaps I did like an image search or something, and that was helpful. Okay, so as you can see, we have already the channel created. So now we will just have to introduce the strap channel into the strap channel, and we will be doing the same thing on the other side of the triangle, right? I will be doing it off camera, but I just want to show you how, right? So I'm going to fold inside like this my triangle the same. I'm using about 1.5 centimeters the edge, and I'm honest to you, I always prefer to use, well, to pin and then stitch, since sometimes the fabric can move around, and I like to have it already prepared for the stitching. So I've already prepared it. The same way I'm going to use my hem jumper, although my sewing machine is quite good with thicker layers, but the same, I'm going to create the strap channel like that. And I just wanted to show you, because this will be off camera and then my project is almost finished, I want to show you, I take my take my strap and I will be placing it. You will see the there will be the space. I'm using this loop turner. You can use a safety pin as well. Loop turner is sometimes a little bit faster as you can see, and I'm just sliding it through. And the greatest thing is that you can ruche it as you want. I would recommend to ruche it too much, of course, because you don't want your dress to become kind of like too much gathered, right? But it is possible, and it looks very, very beautiful. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you make a nice project. If you have any questions, please feel free to write me. Happy sewing!